What's going on, guys? Jacob Orth back here with another video of Jacob's Life in Vegas, coming to you guys from right here near the strip with sirens going on right now. And I've been out here for a few minutes already. I've had numerous ambulances, fire trucks go by, and I did not hear an accident over there. So I don't know if it's an actual accident or maybe somebody walking just had a medical issue. And then another highway patrol car came up the ramp here, just took the overpass and was heading down that way. So kind of got like a few emergencies going on right now in the area. So stay safe if you live here locally or if you're coming on vacation. So stay safe, and guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Got an update for you guys talking about Las Vegas's numbers here, because we were talking about few videos back, or I don't know, a month or so back, whatever it's been now. It's been kind of a whirlwind with this whole virus thing going on. I showed the numbers in April, because we shut down in March. In April, we were pretty much completely closed down, how bad those numbers were. And a lot of people were like, hey, you know, try it again in June, because we reopened June 4th. So compare June of 2019 to June of 2020. And that's what we're going to do today, because I got the numbers right here for you. And obviously it's better than when we were shut down in April, but this is still not a pretty picture. Definitely not a pretty picture we're looking at here financially. And these numbers are going to tell you the story. So we'll hop right into it right now. Now, let's just talk about the overall visitor volume to begin with. In June of 2019, there were 3.6 million visitors that month, June of a year ago. June of 2020, just over a million, 1,065,000. That's an over 70% loss from a year ago. Over 70% down we are when it comes to visitor volume. Convention attendance last year, June of 2019, we had 514,000 people attend conventions here in Las Vegas, over 500,000. This year, June 2020, zero. 100% loss for convention attendance this year, and we have more and more conventions that keep canceling on us right now because of the situation. So that's hurting big time in terms of our revenue. Total occupancy, June 2019, was 91.7% overall. 91.7 for occupancy. June of 2020, 40.9%. That's just over 50% worse. 50.8% worse is what that is. Our weekend occupancy is a little better than our midweek. I mean, it's all bad. Weekend occupancy is 96.4% in 2019. Weekend occupancy right now, 51.8%, 44.6% decrease. Midweek occupancy, for those of you asking me, hey, is it busy during the week? You know, what's going on during the week in Vegas and how busy is it? How big is the crowd? Listen to this one. Last year, June 2019, midweek occupancy, 89.7%, almost 90% full during the week in June last year. A lot of that's due to the convention crowd. This year, June 2020, midweek occupancy, 36.5%. 36.5%. We're only about a third full middle of the week when it comes to being open right now. That's why we're getting killed. Weekends, we have some crowd, and, you know, it looks okay. You're on Fremont, it looks kind of busy. Certain parts on the strip may look busy, but during the week, that's where we're getting just obliterated right now. That is a 53.2% drop, midweek occupancy. Strip occupancy is also right about a 53% loss also, 93.4% in 2019, 40.4% for June 2020. That's rough. Downtown is lower too, but not as bad as the strip. Downtown in June last year was 86.3% occupancy. Downtown this year, also 36.5%. That's just under a 50% decrease, almost 50%. Average daily room rate, this is where it's the least bad for what we have going on right now. This is the least bad statistic in the whole thing. The average daily room rate overall last year in June was $120.43. This year is $104.07. So it's only 13.6% decrease. The strip is lower than last year, as is downtown, but downtown it's not as bad. Last year on the strip, the average daily room rate was $129.49. This year it's $117.62. It's a 9.2% drop. And then the smallest drop of anything right here is downtown's average daily room rate. Last year, the average daily room rate downtown was $62.20. This year, so far in June 2020, this year was $58.71. So only went down about 5.5%. That's the best figure on this whole thing, on this whole report. Total nights occupied, total room nights occupied, excuse me. Listen to this. Total room nights occupied, June 2019 was 4,116,100 total nights of rooms are occupied in June of 2019. June 2020, 1,171,200. It's a 71.5% decrease from June 2019 to June 2020. Listen to this number as far as passengers enplaned and deplaned. So in 2019 last year, June, 4,444,000 passengers enplaned and deplaned. June of this year, just over a million, is 1,041,000. 76.6% decrease. More than 75, there's more than 3/4 decrease of what we had a year ago. The daily traffic coming on all major highways, that's down 13%. June 2019 was 128,000 people. This year is 111,000 in June, so that was down 13%. Traffic from California from June of last year to June this year is only down 16%. So June 2019, we had basically 49,000 people drive to Las Vegas from California. June this year is 41,111. So it's only down 16%. So the numbers coming from California driving in are actually relatively the same, considering the situation. And then the gaming revenue, oof, man, this one's rough. So Clark County gaming revenue, 2019 for June, $906,680,000, getting close to $1 billion of gaming revenue for this county, June of last year, June of 2019. This year, June 2020, a very different story. $441,042,000, 51.4% decrease. Over half of the gaming revenue we made last year this time, we're not getting this year. We're getting less than half of what we got a year ago in terms of gaming revenue. And of all three places, it measures here between downtown, the Strip, and Boulder Strip. Boulder Strip is actually doing the best in terms of percentage. Boulder Strip last year, they did $66.6 million in gaming revenue in June 2019. This year, June, they did $45 million. So they were down 32.5%. That's the best one between these three. So they got $45 million. So I'm guessing it's probably because they're a lot more reliant on locals than the Strip and downtown, who are more reliant on the tourists coming in. So downtown's gaming revenue, June of last year, June of 2019, $52 million. Downtown's gaming revenue, June of 2020, $23 million, a 55.6% decrease. So again, we're not even making half in terms of gambling revenue of what we were just a year ago. And then gaming revenue on the Strip, right there behind me. Let's talk about how much money the Strip made in terms of gambling in June this year versus last year. Last year, 2019, the Strip made $616,592,000 in terms of gambling revenue. This year, the Strip made $238,252,000 in June 2020. That's a 61.4% decrease. We're getting less than 40% of what we got a year ago here on the Strip when it comes to gaming revenue. Now, granted, gaming is only so big in terms of the revenue that these casinos make, these hotels, these resorts, because a lot of the big money, especially in recent years, was coming from conventions. Let's say you have the Las Vegas Convention Center expanding, or Mandalay Bay expanding their convention center, because that's where a lot of money was coming from, with so many businesses coming to town for conventions, conferences, trainings, seminars, things like that. Because you have people who come here, the business pays for them to come here, or people come here and they want to entertain clients they have. They put on their business card, they can deduct these expenses. But when you have zero business customers, for conventions right now, that hurts big time. We're really just reliant right now on whatever traffic drives in from California or from Arizona or Utah, or people driving across country, whatever the case is. That's what we're really reliant on right now. And as you guys saw, our weekends are okay. Like the weekends, we have some crowd here. you know, in the weekdays, we just don't have the numbers. Like the weekdays are really hurting, and even the crowd that comes, you guys even saw, we don't have the same kind of revenue coming in right now. So we don't have the same numbers of people, obviously. We don't have the same kind of revenue coming in right now. The numbers right here, they show. This is on the LVCVA website. I'll put the link down below. You guys can check all these numbers for yourself, but these numbers obviously do not paint a pretty picture right now in Las Vegas. Is it better than April? Of course it's better than April, but you know, as we go forward, what happens with the virus, happens with these numbers, is going to be a huge factor in, you know, what's taking place here in the near future. How many places will stay open, or if places are going to reopen, or places are going to shut down again. All that kind of stuff's a big factor. A lot of people, you know, a lot of them don't even have the money to travel to Vegas right now. And even people that do have the money, a lot of them don't want to travel because of issues with the virus, or they have concerns about the virus and coming to Las Vegas. So, you know, what can we do? What can we do? You know, so Vegas is trying to make money, trying to do what it can, but the numbers obviously are not good. So we see how it proceeds forward, or how it goes as we proceed forward with this whole event. But those numbers right now for June of 2020 in Las Vegas versus June of 2019 for our tourist numbers, not painting a real pretty picture, but that is the reality we are dealing with. So I appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you guys want to check out another cool video, go right over there. That is it for this one. I'll see you in the video over there. I am Jacob. This is My Life in Vegas.